Like crypto is just a game where the narratives shift so quickly and everything is destined to fail.
There's more unknown about Breath of Estiva than there is on IKEA.
They have big people working on it with a lot of experience from big gaming studios.
Like, I want to be part of something that's going to last a long time.
It's all going to fail. If you had to pick only one Laniakia or Breath of Estella, which one?
That's a bad question, man.
Okay, so we are live. So welcome to a new episode of Senseis. Today we are talking about gaming on Monad, specifically Breath of Istava, Laniakia, and maybe we'll show here some other games, but those are the ones that will focus more on these episodes. So yeah, guys, what are your opinions on? Let's start with Breath of Istava.
I will start with Breath of Estella because I really like it, and since I've seen it in Monad a while ago, I looked at the document and I really liked all the mechanisms of the game, especially that it's a play to earn game and probably the first play to earn game on Monad. And I love their mechanisms, especially because they give me like Axie Infinity vibes, like Last Bull Run, which was a game probably the most played Web3 play to earn game. And these things have huge potential and can skyrocket very quickly, and people can print money off of that, especially if they join early and like acquire the NFTs and sell them later. So it's like digital real estate, where if you come in early when people don't understand it really, you can acquire the NFTs cheaply and then resell it as the game gets more popular. Now with Axie Infinity, what happened is that I think you needed to buy an NFT to be able to play the game. Now with Breath of Estella, I think you are going to be able to play the game anyway, but there are going to be stuff like pets or special skins maybe, or you'll be able to customize your character. And the main thing which I see potential in, if you want to make money off of this, is the land. Because I think the land is going to be an NFT in Breath of Estella. So it's basically like real estate in real life, but you're coming into the city before everybody else comes. So it's like Manhattan, like years ago. You come in before people realize that the place is actually cool. You can acquire the land cheaply and then resell it later. So I think I see big potential to like also make some money, not only have fun in the game. And obviously most people are in crypto to make money. So yeah, Breath of Estella looks really good for that.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a pretty good analysis of everything with Breath of Estiva. I made a video on it back in, I think, August. I think the land is going to be a big deal. You're going to be able to play to earn. Once you get to a certain level, you're going to be able to farm your Estiva tokens. I don't know exactly how that works. I think they are continuously like updating the white paper. There's also going to be that Valora token NFT, which will unlock new areas within the game verse. And I'm excited about those NFTs. Yeah, the land, the Valora tokens, if it gets really popular, a lot of people are going to be buying those Valora token NFTs. Don't know why people want to buy the pets. Maybe the pets will get collectible as well.
I think the pets are, I'm not sure if you can resell them, but they are just like a form of flex in the game. Something like a skin, but from what I understand, they don't have any features or any way which they can help you. They are just like, you look cool with them.
Yeah, I think there's some pretty nice features there. Talking about the gaming itself, I think that retro Zelda vibe, something that brings back some memories for the older gamers. But I think it's also something that younger people are also playing. From what I could understand from the paper, it will have like a auto balancing mechanism that will always balance the liquidity of the tokens. So if a lot of people are playing and a lot of tokens are being minted, the liquidity is being pushed on the other side, and I think it balances. And if less people are earning tokens or minting new tokens, the value goes up. So it has like an auto balancing mechanism. I'm not the the most qualified person to explain this, but I think it works like that. They call it harmonizer. I think that's the name of that mechanism. Yeah, and that's, as we were talking, people want to earn money, and that's a good like retention mechanism. So
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the best explanation of the harmonizer in short that I've seen anywhere. So nice. I mean, just that part of the white paper is pretty lengthy and kind of complex. So
And like they've also said that the more people play the game, the more tokens are minted. So that creates a lot of inflation. But then on the other hand, in-game purchases are burned. So that's deflationary. So yeah, classic economics. The more players play the game and earn in-game tokens, the more tokens are created, which creates inflation. And so disconnected. Okay.
yeah, we talked a lot about Breath of Festival already, and it's just the whole Ponzi-nomics side of this thing. Like, I want to be part of something that's going to last a long time. You know, imagine like spending years to build a video game, and you're just building it for a Ponzi, just to run up the token and then have it crash to zero. Like spending years of your life to build something that's destined to just crash and be worthless.
Those are some deep thoughts.
That's part of the reason why I like Lanai Kia so much. Is Lanai Kia's vision is to expand to Nintendo Switch and maybe other gaming systems. Like they have a vision to keep going on forever, and it feels really real to me. And yeah, their token might have a run up, but their big vision is for it to last a long time, for people to be playing it for years and years and years, like Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. So
I don't think they are going to last more than Monad. So if I had to guess, like it would last this bull run anyway, even though like they have a more long-term vision and are building in a way where they are not trying to just run up the Ponzi.
another thing that makes it good that they're building on Monad is like with the EVM compatibility, if there's a new chain that pops up in 8 years that's faster and better and they want to continue building on what they've already built, they can just move it to that other chain.
That's a good point.
Like that's a bullish point on anything in the Monad ecosystem because like they can move wherever you've got the fastest and cheapest transactions. I talked to Ketama and he said he wants to make it the best Web3 game, period. So like he does envision on it this game lasting a long time. We are focusing on the Ponzi nomic structure of the coin and stuff like that. And to me, I don't like to think about it because it's just like planning for something to fail.
I don't have an issue with that because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's all going to fail. I mean, crypto is just things pumping and dumping, and we are just trying to extract value from each other. And some people win, some people lose. It's a zero-sum game overall. So people are here to make a bank, and some people want to make stuff that actually lasts for longer, which are probably the smarter people, but most don't succeed because like crypto is just a game where the narratives shift so quickly and everything is destined to fail basically except for Bitcoin.
can you hear me, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I had my car charging, and my wife decided to turn on every machine, so power went down. Sorry. So where were we?
I guess we dive into Lania Kia right now. So what I've seen from them is a really cool game. Like the graphics look really good. They made a live stream on Twitter, which I saw and looks very cool. They've also launched a Telegram app, which is currently only available for certain people with a Lalanad role, but it's going to be available for the public. It's not the main game, but just a side thing because they didn't want to wait for testnet, so they made something.
I really like that Lanai Kia is building out a marketplace. Like back in the day with World of Warcraft, people used to get in-game items and then try to sell them on eBay until there was some scams, and then eBay banned being able to sell those items. Well, they're fixing that situation by building out a marketplace where you can sell those items to other people playing the game. Then you also have a situation similar to Breath of Estiva where there's supposed to be NFT land, some of the more desirable places. You've got a bunch of different elements to how you play the game. You've got the player versus player, the player versus environment. You've got guild versus guild, so like you can team up with your friends and go battle another team of friends. And then there's also like the Fortnite element of like there being an online battle tournament. Of course, it's open world. You don't have to participate in any of that stuff. You can just wander around, I don't know, trying to pick up in-game items. You don't have to battle anybody if you don't want to. I feel like it is a place where once the bull market starts and people are excited about the gains that they've gotten and tokens, they want to participate in a game that's Web3. But then also with Nike, it wants to get on the Nintendo Switch. So like they can participate in a game that deals with crypto, but then the longer term vision is to actually be on regular consoles. I think it's going to be a fun thing for people to do when they're up a lot of money on whatever meme coins or whatever they're in, to like still be involved in crypto, but maybe to wind down a little bit. Like, who wants to play Grand Theft Auto like you can play any other time of year when you can play a game that's so closely correlated with crypto?
Yeah, so I also like Lanikia very much. I think when they popped up, really caught my eye because I started asking some questions there, and I realized that they have like really experienced gaming people. And I'm not talking about players; they are game developers. They've been in most known studios like EA, Blizzard, Riot. So it's a very experienced team that is working on it. They have a 1,000 kilometers long world. And one thing that I really like is it's a sphere-like world. So you can just walk around it and you'll never end. But it's a different approach. I don't remember any game that had a world like that. So it's a cool feature. Yeah, one interesting thing that you were talking about the consoles, it's really cool. And I think gaming adoption for Web3 has to go that way. It's like an abstraction layer. You don't need to have a wallet. You don't need to have mess around with blockchain. You just turn on your console, you play a game. You don't have to know that you're doing blockchain transactions. As long as they are quick, as long as they are cheap, you can do it in a traditional manner, but you're using blockchain in the backyard. And I think that's the future of gaming. You don't have to be blockchain savvy to play Web3 games. I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, I think if you guys watch just a video of the gameplay, it's really nice. The graphics are cool. The game looks really smooth. You can go around. You can hop on pets and fly around. You can battle anywhere. There's also a night and day time, so you can play both at night and day, which is also a feature that you don't see that often. Character level is, I think you can level skills independently, so you can have like a mage with a heavy armor or whatever, a lot of combinations, so that brings another layer of interests that people can explore. So yeah, I think it's a real game. It's not a traditional Web3 game where you do 4 clicks a day and then you go on with their life. It's a real game. It can really onboard people that are not into Web3.
I feel like Breath of Estella is like a straight up Web3 game, and Laniakia, it has signs of a real game, but also the Web3 mechanisms. And I didn't know that they are play to earn, and they've also signaled an airdrop, so they're probably going to have a token which could print easily, especially like Monad already solves the community problem for these projects. Like, these projects have to fight for the attention of the community, but the community is already there and is only going to get bigger. So they have to funnel those people into their game, but they can have a lot of players possibly.
Well, Nike also originally was going to come out on Solana. So they're already on the radar of people that are like more Solana native. So like they're trying to build a community, and they've got Monad people watching them, and you've got Solana. Like they came out with a testnet game for Solana, but it just was too many problems. It came out, I think, in April, and there was a lot of network congestion on Solana. And so the testnet game or whatever they put out just wasn't working right. So out of frustration, they moved to Monad, And so it's just they have potentially community over there that wanted to get involved before, and then you've got all of us in the Monad ecosystem waiting for it. So
Makes sense. And the closing question, which I'm going to put you guys on the spot right here. If you had to pick only one, Laniakia or Breath of Estella, which one?
That's a hard question. I was also thinking what would be my answer.
yeah, that's a real tough question. Like I just spent like 3 or 4 days with Ketama, and
Don't want to get banned.
no, I don't care. Like it's just the way he talked about it made me bullish. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're around somebody that is building something and they're enthusiastic about it, it makes you feel it more. And so, I mean, I guess I would still choose Lanai Kia. I think just because I think it's cool that they want to get into being available on regular consoles. They've got like a different kind of vision in that way. I don't. It's pretty equal to me right now. It's hard for me to say no to Breath of Espa after hearing Ketamo talk about it for 4 days. Like that's a bad question, man.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
Like
tough.
I can tell you, I'd much rather play both of these games than Sparkball.
Yeah, that's an interesting discussion there. Yeah, I'd probably also go with Laniakia first. It's not like easy to pick one of those. You know, I spent more time talking with Laniakia people than with Breath of Esteva. I appreciate a lot what's being built on both games. If I have the time, I'd play them both for sure. Yeah, but I think I'd pick Laniakia in this case. But
Yeah, like I think there's going to be some catalysts that are going to come out in the next few weeks or months that are going to attract a lot of attention to Breath of Estiva that was not there before. Just like partnerships and the people involved with the project, it's super bullish. Because the thing with Lanai Kia is a lot of the announcements have already been made. There's more unknown about Breath of Estiva than there is Lanai Kia. And the things that are unknown about Breath of Estiva are super bullish, and it's just more to me right now than Lanai Kia. And so when those things come out, I think it's just going to drive so much attention. And then you've got Ketama is super close with people on the Monad team. I think that Keone is going to be shilling Breath of Estiva. I think like half the Monad team is going to be shilling Breath of Estiva. And yeah, actually, I'm going to retract what I said before. I think I'm more excited at the moment for Breath of Estiva. But I would much rather play with either of those games than Sparkball or yeah.
I would pick Breath of the Star too, but you guys have convinced me on Laniakia. I like it a lot more than how I did before I understood the stuff that you've said today. But Breath of Estava is in my heart, and I've also spent quite some time in the community.
You also look at the team, like the community team, Breath of Estiva. You've got major people in Monad in the community team that can bring attention there versus Lanai Kia just has Pure Soul right now. It's just one person.
They also have I think 50k followers on Twitter, which I don't know how did they get that.
They were launching on Solana. So Solana community is crazy big. That's because of it for sure. Yeah, and it's a nice looking game. You know, like we talked about, they have big people working on it with a lot of experience from big gaming studios, and it brings a lot of attention for it. But in the end, the attention is there for most of games. Have you guys played Sparkball yet?
No, I've just watched it.
Yeah, I just was able to play one game so far, but I really like it. I think it can also be very successful. It's a mixture of Rocket League with League of Legends. You know, it's two super popular games, very dynamic. It has very good mechanisms. I really like the game. I'm not saying that I like it more than the other two, but I think it can be very, very successful. Again, it's not a Web3 game. It's a game for itself. You know, it just happens to be on blockchain. I think we are having a nice gaming landscape for starters. It looks like they are very good quality, and that's very bullish.
Yeah, I don't really have any other thoughts other than I think that there will be a lot more coming soon. Maybe even some games will show up to one of these Monad Madness events, whether it's in Thailand or Korea. Maybe something similar to Lanai Kia that was building on another chain, and they figured that it would be better to build on Monad because their games will run faster and better. We just saw LFJ, which was focused on AVAX, which is also kind of known as a Web3 game chain. They're moving to Monad, so maybe some of those Web3 games on AVAX will start thinking about following LFJ's lead to Monad. Yeah, we're not even in the testnet yet, so there's going to be all kinds of things popping up. But
And we still have IntelliX. We didn't mention it, but it's a big gaming platform that will also be coming to Monad. I think we can leave it for another episode, but yeah, there's pretty interesting things happening in the gaming side of Monad, even if most of it is not really well known at the moment. But the landscape is looking pretty cool.